Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to the boxing shop, and happy Memorial Day. Wasn't sure if we were going to be on last week. We kind of said it was going to be play it by ear, but last minute the show came together, and we're here. We have a few guests on tonight too with us. But Ray, how you doing, man?
Hey man, I'm good. Good over here. You?
Hey, same man, same. It was busy weekend. We'll get into that after all the interviews and all that. Not sure if you caught any of the Josh Taylor Jack Catterall fight.
Yeah, I was one last week. I said I didn't care, but I did end up catching it, and yeah, caught it.
Cool. Well, yeah, we'll get into that right now. But first, we're going to bring our first guest on, um, Kaipo Gallegos. How you doing, Kaipo?
I'm doing good.
Good, man. You out there in Las Vegas right now, right?
Yeah, I'm out here in Vegas.
18 years old.
Yeah.
Probably one of the youngest prospects we've had on the show. Go ahead and introduce yourself. I know there's going to be some people that aren't familiar with you, but go ahead and take some time to introduce yourself and let them know who you are.
My name is I'm Kaipo Gallegos. I'm 4-0, 3 knockouts. Just started my professional career, and I got a upcoming fight May 31st on live on DAZN.
That's going to be this Friday out in Florida too. When are you going to be heading out to Florida?
I leave Wednesday.
Okay. A quick turnaround. Now, for somebody at your age, you've already had a lot of good experience in the ring with some top fighters, sparring with Shakur Stevenson, Robesi Ramirez, Jorge Linares, Devin Haney, Keyshawn Davis, and whatnot. Talk to me a little bit about those experiences and those battles in the ring and how it's shaped you as a fighter.
It's a good experience. A lot of them have their own style, and I just learn from them and pick pieces off of each and every one of their style and make my style better with it. And I try to do their moves they do to me, and just practice on stuff they gave and helped me out with.
Hey, so being only 18 and the zone fight already signed, how does that happen so quick for you? At least, is it? Did people see how you did against those names sparring, or walk us through that journey to, hey, you're here already?
Yeah, it's that, and I got a good team behind me, and my name has always been out there since I was little, winning in amateurs, and I just always had a lot of eyes on me since like my whole career, and now we're just getting started, and we're here now.
What do you think that brings the eyes to you? Like,
I
obviously you have power. Your record shows you have power. What brings the eyes to you?
I feel like it's just my fighting style. I could fight inside. I could fight outside. I got speed. I got good IQ, and I think just my fighting style that brings eyes to me.
Now, you've had an extensive amateur career. It looks like you've racked up a lot of accolades throughout that time.
Yeah.
Take us through that, and how long were you fighting as amateur? Like, when did you start your amateur career?
I started training since I was 5, and I started competing when I was 8 years old. I think I won my first national title in Mesquite for the Golden Glove, Junior Golden Gloves, in 2014. And now, throughout my whole amateur career, I got 18 nationals.
Yeah, that's obviously that's a lot of a lot of awards and accolades, which
Yeah.
has led you to now. You're signed with Box Lab Promotions and Sean Boxing. How did that come about? Were they scouting you as an amateur, or was that something that just came about right after you turned pro?
I think right after I turned pro, they talked to my manager, my dad, and then we just got together, and we just from there, just how it started.
There we go. We Felix threw out some crazy names that you sparred. Can you tell us who's the best person that you've been in the ring with?
I feel one of the hardest sparrings I've been was with Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shakur. The way he could just be right in front of you, and it's still hard to touch him, and he's just got good timing and defense. He'd be right in front of your face, and it's still hard to get him.
It's interesting. Of the names, Robeisy Ramirez is somebody we're high on right now. Of course, what was that experience like with him?
Robisi's he's good too. He's slick. He good timing too, and he has a good straight left.
Yeah, solid prospect for sure. And then, there's a lot of prospects, especially in the super featherweight division. Where you're at. Anybody that you've kind of started thinking down the line that you're going to face, or somebody that you would want to match up with stylistic wise?
Right now, not really. Just whoever they put in front of me, just get the win, and from here, just keep working my way up until I'm at that point.
So, being so young and already signed, and I mean, you're kind of past a lot of these prospects already. What are your, I guess, short-term goals? Like, say, a year or 2 years? Is it? What are you thinking?
Like maybe 2 or 3 years. Maybe I have a shot at a title, or just anything from like 2 to 3 years here. Like at least like a title shot. I can have one.
Right on. So, I mean, obviously, you've been in there, and those guys have, fought at the top of the levels. Are you on that level?
Yeah, I feel I'm on that level. I'm right there with them at the highest level. I feel like, and I'm just getting better as myself.
Now, looking at your record here too as well, you weren't taking it easy. Your first fight was a 4-rounder, and then you jumped right into a 6-round fight, and then 8-round fights.
Yeah.
And these weren't pushover dudes. These are guys that had a lot of experience. 13-4, 27-7. A lot of people, looking at those records, outsiders might say, "Oh, that's a losing record," but that's a guy with a lot of experience.
Yeah.
And sparring with Keyshawn Davis, that's a guy who's also been kind of thrown to the wolves early on in his career. Is that something that you and your handlers were like, you want to fight the top guys already? You don't want to kind of take it easy. You just want to jump right into it.
Yeah. Me and my team, we felt like we could take on those guys, and we don't really want like a like a bum fighter right now. So we just get like experienced fighters. So we felt like those were good opponents to bring me up.
And being so young, you've already picked up what is it, the WBO Youth Championship already?
Yeah, the WBO Youth Championship. Yeah.
Yeah, and that, I mean, you're definitely moving at a fast pace.
Yeah.
You said 2 to 3 years a championship, but I mean, this year alone, how fast or how many times do you plan to be in the ring? I see you've already fought, back in March, and you have another one here May 31st. So, this coming Friday.
I think I mean as much as I can, maybe like four or five times this year.
And that's what we like to see. Did you have another question there, Ray?
Yeah, no, man. Like the activity for a young fighter, and I think just the more you fight, the more people become, accustomed to your name. So, yeah, we're definitely tuned in for sure. Do you have? I know it's early, but you got to think. Do you have a dream fight out there? Someone you're like, man, I want to be in the ring under the lights with them at some point.
Right now, I like to fight with maybe like Shakur Stevenson in the future, like later on when I'm up there, or yeah, I gotta think. Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. Do you are you a fan of the sport? Because like sometimes we get boxers who aren't really fans of it, and then we get fighters who love the sport. Are you a fan of boxing?
Yeah, I love this sport. I've been doing it since I was little. I always enjoyed it, and I always been in the gym since I was a little kid. So yeah, I'm in
No
love with
doubt.
the sport.
All time favorite? Do you have one?
I give you my top three.
Let's hear it.
I like Floyd. I got Pac-Man, and I like Terrence Crawford right now.
There you go, man. Can't go wrong. Who's the best out of those three? All around the same weight. Who would win?
I think Floyd.
Yeah.
Floyd Mayweather.
Probably have to be in that way.
Yeah.
With your style of fighting, is there anybody that you emulated, that that you really kind of styled yourself off of coming up?
Not really. I try to have my own style, but I like to just watch from other fighters and take what they got from like other fighters and make it better in my own way.
Yeah, no doubt. Evolve the game, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, once again, you're fighting this Friday on DAZN. Where else can people watch you? And is there any footage or anything else like that people can get familiar with already?
Yeah, you can look me up on YouTube and you follow me on Instagram at Kaipo Gallegos. And yeah, I'm gonna be fighting on DAZN, so you can catch me on DAZN May 31st.
Perfect. Is that the first time you're going to be on DAZN on a platform like that?
Yeah, it's my first time.
Any pressure?
Not really. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, and we see it again. The record speaks for itself. You're moving at a fast pace, and that's something we like to see in young fighters as well too, that are hungry. Now the one fight, there's always blemishes and whatnot. I do see you had a draw on there in your second fight. How was that? Because a lot of times, some of those, that you look at BoxRec and whatnot, you don't get the full story. Tell us about that one a little bit.
Yeah, my second fight I had a draw. It was a tough opponent, but I feel like I won the fight. He was just throwing a lot of punches, but most of them was like arm punches and like blocks. So I felt like I had the cleaner punches and the more effective punches, and I was just like boxing him the whole fight. And I guess he was throwing. I think he was just throwing more, but they didn't really see it because it was really mostly blocks.
Yeah, and you figure, I mean, those fights where, when you're not going 12 rounds, it's easy around here, around there, and now we end up in a draw. So
yeah.
Yeah, is that something you ever want to run back with that guy, or are you moving past that already?
Definitely. Like maybe later we get a rematch in.
Got it. Well, yeah. Again, kind of short time here today, but we're definitely locked in and tuned in. I like the progression and the speed that you're moving. You throw out the Instagram, but any other last comments you have for people supporting you and following you?
Tune in May 31st live on DAZN. I'm gonna put on a show.
Cool. Appreciate you, Kaipo, and thank you for coming on. And happy Memorial Day again.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, appreciate your time. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
All right, it's Kaipo Gallegos, and we're awaiting the next guest here. But
hey, I kind of want to. You kind of threw out like we were all high on Robisi, like, hey, bro. Speak for yourself on that.
we were.
You're acting like we're like super Robisi fans. I was like,
I mean, at one point we all were. I mean, that might have changed a little bit, but yeah,
Yeah, no, I got you. And that's not to take away. Obviously, Robisi's Robisi, and the people that he's been in the ring with. As an 18-year-old, like that's wild. You got Linares, I think that's Hall of Famer. Keyshawn Shakur already at 18, and he's already dealing with that. Like, I'm sure some of these fights probably have to feel like, hey, it's gonna be a walk in the park because nobody's gonna bring what they brought. So, it's gonna be. And then to be on DAZN so early in his career, bro, I'm excited for that, and gonna tune in for sure.
Oh yeah, no, without a doubt. It's exciting to see, and we're going to be locked in, of course, covering. That's what we do here. We work with all the young fighters on the come up. So make sure you guys are locked in and tune into our social media pages. We have our next guest here, Chavez Barrientes. Chavez, how you doing?
How's it going? Good.
How's it going?
Good, man. Good. How was training today?
Everything was good. Weight's good. Everything. Feeling sharp.
Now you're also fighting on Friday on DAZN as well too, and you're a rare breed. You are a twin, much like the Carlos. I'm sure you've gotten that comparison a ton of times throughout your career. What is that like, being a twin, and both of you guys are active fighters?
Being a twin, is great. You always have that person next to you that helps you train and make sure he's on top of it. And my brother, he pushes me too. So, it's always good having somebody by your side.
You guys spar a lot with each other as well?
We do drills here and there, but we never really spar. We kind of stopped it when we was younger in the amateurs, and now we usually just work on things with each other.
So why'd that stop? Was it getting too heated?
Nah, I mean, we always try to kill each other when we were young. Not no more, but we kind of stopped it.
Now, again, Chavez Barrientes, you are currently you're a featherweight, right?
I'm super bantam 122.
Okay, super bantam, 8-0, 6 knockouts. For people who aren't familiar with you, go ahead and take some time as well to introduce yourself. We probably should have started with that, but go ahead and
No
introduce
worries.
yourself.
Yeah, my name is Chavez Barrientes. Born in Hawaii, raised in Vegas. I'm 8-0 with 6 knockouts. My brother. I have my brother too. He's a twin boxer as well. But yeah, we're on the come up. Look out for us. May 31st, we're gonna be fighting this week, this Friday.
Now, what's it like? Being in Hawaii, that's not really a area where there's a lot of boxing. Is that what caused you guys to move to Vegas? And how did you guys get into the sport?
My dad was always a big boxing fan. Ever since we was 7, we started boxing with him. He opened up a gym, and we kind of both learned on the way up. And we just fell in love with it since a young age. So yeah, we've been working at it since we were 7 years old, and it just grew from there.
And then you guys are 21. Is that correct?
Yep, 21.
And another young fighter already fighting on the zone. How did that happen so quick for you guys?
We have a great team behind us. Bob Santos is our manager. Our advisors Al Heyman. So we have a great team behind us. We started fighting on TV on our fourth pro fight, and now we're signed with Box Lab. So we're gonna be fighting on the zone. So that's gonna be great. Another great opportunity.
Now, something that I just was informed here as well too. You guys are the first, maybe first, but definitely the only boxers that are currently also runway models for a couple designer brands as well.
Yeah. We're also models. We're designer models. We model for Louis Vuitton and Savage Fenty. A couple of good designer brands like Joe Malone too. So we've been in the modeling game for about 3 years now. So we got a couple good brands that we got to model for as well.
And how does that happen? That might be more interesting than how does the
my
boxing?
cousin, he's actually an artist. He goes by Chito. So he put us on. He does his art and he models as well. So he kind of put us on that game. So yeah, now we're models. So we have we're professional boxers, and now we're also runway models.
So when you go into the ring, do you feel like some added pressure to represent fashion wise?
Nah. I feel like me and my brother carry ourselves really good. So there's not really too much pressure on the line. I don't. Well, I don't feel it. I just got to go in there and do my job.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, what is it like? Because obviously, boxing and modeling, modeling your tool is your face essentially, right?
Yeah.
Boxing,
Yeah.
that's
No, there's a couple times where I had a bruise on my eye. I had to get it off really quick before I had a model. Sometimes they give us a couple days notice before we model, so it's always sometimes a short notice. So yeah, I have to deal with that type of stuff.
Do you have a preference with your which is the better way to earn money, boxing or modeling?
I mean, boxing's my dream, but modeling you don't have to get hit, so it's different. It's way easier, but boxing's always gonna be my dream. But modeling's they have long days, but it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are currently as well on the boxing side. You're with Bob Santos, and under that stable, he's got a lot of fighters in there. A lot of good top fighters too.
Yeah.
How's that like? How did that relation come about? And do you feel pressure to really succeed? With everybody that he's got in that stable.
Yeah, for sure. Bob Santos is a great manager. We always been around him since we was like 8 years old. My dad he owns a gym in Las Vegas, So he had Bob Santos over and Robert Guerrero when he was training for his fights. So he always seen us. And then when we was about 17 years old, he was watching us spar some pros and was doing really good against them. So that's when he took the next step and signed us.
Now, looking at your record here as well too, it's been just over a year since you were out of the ring. But before that, you were quite active. What caused the layoff?
Um, nothing major. Just we just wanted some time to grow into our bodies. You know, we was kind of young when we started our professional career. So yeah, we just was trying to grow and just learn and gain more experience until we stepped up on the bigger fights.
Now, with this fight now being on DAZN, as we asked our previous guests as well too. What is the timeline looking for you for the next few years? Same question. What is your timeline looking with the next few years, and balancing out both careers at the same time? It's going to probably be a little bit more time wise. It's going to take more time.
Definitely. We plan on being way more busier this year now that we're 21 years old and getting a couple fights under our belts, and hopefully we could look at a title eliminator or even a title shot in the next 2 years. So yeah, we've been training really hard. I've been in the ring with a lot of good fighters. Sparring. I just recently sparred Devin Haney for his camp. Being a 22 pounder, he fights at 47 or 40.
Yeah.
But yeah, I learned a lot from him. Tank been in our gym training for his Frank Martin fight. So I got a lot of good people around me that I could watch and learn from. And we're just ready. We've been training really hard this last couple years, and we're just hungry.
How's Tank looking right now ahead of this Frank Martin fight?
Oh no, you know what he's doing. Tank's Tank. Everyone knows how he's doing. He's training real hard.
And the sparring with Devin, what was that like?
It was good. It was good competitive work. Devin's undisputed champ. For a reason. So he's real smart with his jab and IQ.
Is Devin the best fighter you've been in the ring with?
Yeah, one of the best.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
What'd you think about his fight with Ryan and kind of the follow up where positive drug tests and all that?
Yeah. Yeah. If Ryan's really positive on his drug test, that means a lot. Because boxers, we had a couple deaths this last couple years, so boxing's not a game to be played with. So if he's positive, then there should be some real consequences to Ryan.
Yeah, I agree, and that's it's a sad thing if it is true. With that being said, there's the whole tainted supplement thing.
Yeah.
You being a young fighter, I'm not sure if you take any supplements or anything like that, but when you do, if you do, what kind of consideration goes into that? And do you have your team look at it, doctors look at it? What is the thought process behind what you're doing with your diet regimen and any kind of
yeah, diet's real strict with our vitamins and proteins and supplements. We're not taking nothing illegal, but we're definitely trying to keep our bodies right and ready so we could keep recovering and getting better.
And it's got to be because there's been a few fighters who again nobody takes anything illegal, but a lot of it is tainted.
Yeah.
Is there any other precautionary measures that you guys take to make sure none of that happens?
I mean, yeah, just if you're just taking your regular basic stuff, I feel like if you're taking something illegal if you're taking it. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I think that's taking.
Yeah, if somebody knows if you're taking something illegal, you should know what you're putting in your body.
Right. Yeah, I think that's the big thing. Like, obviously Ryan tested positive, but I think as fans, maybe we hope that he's not purposely taking this to cheat.
Yeah.
Like if you're injecting yourself, you're doing something for that purpose, and you hope that's not around, but I guess you never know.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because boxing's a real dangerous sport. You can't be taking these illegal drugs, and somebody could get killed.
Yeah.
So Yeah, that's not good.
Do you have a favorite fighter?
Manny Pacquiao is my favorite fighter. I know he doesn't fight right now, but yeah, he's definitely my favorite fighter. You know, because of his heart and his speed and skills. You know, yeah.
Now I gotta ask, your first name, was that based off? You said your father was a boxing fan. Did he
Yeah.
name you after Julio Cesar Chavez?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that was why he named me after. He named me after him, Julio Cesar Chavez. So yeah, I gotta be good to have that
Yeah.
name.
Got to live up to that, definitely. Well,
Yeah.
thank you again for your time, and go ahead and throw out any other last comments. You know, where people can find you on social media, follow you, especially your modeling career as well too.
Yeah, I just oh my bad. Yeah,
Okay.
I have an Instagram at Chavez Barrientes is just my name, and just keep supporting us. May 31st, this Friday is we're gonna be fighting on the zone, so just look out for us.
Cool. Appreciate it again. And,
Yeah,
we'll be locked in and tuned
yeah,
into you. And, you know, in a few minutes, we'll be speaking with your twin. So
yeah.
thank you again for your time.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, yes, sir. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right. There we go. It's interesting. That's the, you know, the second, at least to my knowledge, the second set of twin active fighters. I know there's been, you know, brothers before. Obviously, there's the Klitschko brothers, the Bears, etc. But I've never, you know, this is the second time I've heard of twins fighting. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. You know, obviously, you know, you get the Charlos, but after that, you know, and you know, that was interesting too, where like they stopped sparring early.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sure that's maybe the dad, but you know, that's got to be tough, right? Like you got two guys. Why would you not spar? But like you're our brothers that bond so close. Like let's keep them away. Like you got to respect that. Um, yeah, man. This is the zone card, man. Hey, look, can't wait to tune in, man. See what we got.
Yeah, most definitely. And then, you know, looking at the card itself, it's stacked up with a lot of prospects, a lot of undefeated guys. You know, I'll kind of go through this really quickly here. Um, Actually, we'll go through this after we have Angel on the ready here, and it might look like all they did was change their seats again. They're twins, but Angel, welcome. How you doing?
Hi, doing good. How you guys doing?
Good over here, man.
Doing
And
good.
happy Memorial Day. And again, also, you know, go ahead and I'll start off this time by letting you introduce yourself before we get into the conversation.
My name's Angel Barrientes. I'm 10-1-6 knockouts from Las Vegas, born in Hawaii.
Similar story to your brother, of course. We were just speaking with him. What is that like? You know, we were just talking before you got on here about, you know, the competition aspect between the two of you. You know, he mentioned you guys, you know, do drills together and whatnot. The whole sparring aspect ended early on with each other. You know, tell us more about all that.
Yeah, no, it was good having my brother with me growing up, especially training. We'd spar a lot when we were younger, but then we started going too hard on each other, so my dad didn't let us spar. But now that we're older, we do drills and stuff, so we help each other get better.
And do you guys have any other siblings, or is it just you two?
Yeah, I got an older sister that used to box too. She was on the national team, and I got a younger brother that's fighting now. He's doing good in the amateurs right now. He has like 15, 20 fights, and he's following after our footsteps.
How old is he?
He's 12.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
fighting family for sure.
yeah.
Now, your brother was named after Julio Cesar Chavez. Is there any story behind your name?
No. I think they just gave him the boxing name. Yeah,
Could have
Now-
been Angel Man Freddy, right?
yeah.
Angel Manfredi. He's a respectable champion from Las Vegas as well too. Have you actually no, Angel Manfredi, I'm confusing him with Augie Sanchez for whatever
Oh,
reason. But
Augie, yeah.
yeah. With you know, speaking of Augie, have you trained with him out there?
Yeah, he was actually the head coach for the youth team. When I made the USA team, he was the head coach for the team.
Nice.
So, we actually traveled with Augie, and we fought in Bulgaria with him.
Oh wow, yeah. And Augie's he's a good guy, man. Definitely.
Yeah.
Now, and I meant to ask this question to your brother too, but talk to me a little bit about your amateur career. What kind of nationals did you pick up along the way as well?
Yeah, I've been fighting nationals since I was 8 years old. I won my first nationals at 8 years old, so I'm a 14-time national champ. So it's been good with the amateurs. It gave us a lot of experience, and winning the nationals just made us better.
Is that something too? Like, you feel like a good competitive spirit when you guys fight on the same cards? You always trying to, not necessarily outdo each other, but you definitely want to stay on par with each other at the same time.
Yeah, for sure. I just want my brother or whoever fights first, just let him get the win out the way, and then the next one's up. But it's good that we're both fighting on the same card. Everybody gets to see us both, how we're different and what we could do.
In weight wise, your brother said he's at 122. What do you fight at currently?
Oh, we fight at 22. I fight at 22 also.
So how is that maneuvering through fights? Is it like, is one of you guys maybe further along than the other, or is it just like, hey, give us whoever and we fight them?
Yeah, I mean we're both definitely on the same level, and we're both stepping up with the competition at the same time. So we're gonna soon take over 22. It's only a matter of time for me and my brother start fighting these bigger fights, and I'm excited.
So if if the big opportunity comes a little bit down the line and it's a title fight, are they gonna let you guys spar to see who gets that that shot?
Nah, honestly, it don't matter because I know both of us will get there. So either one of us, that's a great opportunity. If my brother gets it, he gets it. If I do, I know we're both gonna be out there at one point, so it's gonna be good.
Right on, man. That's cool.
And you guys are both young as well too. Did you with Box Lab Promotions as well? It seems like they're picking up a lot of young prospects. I know we asked our first guest earlier this evening as well. Was this something that you guys were being scouted on before, or did this all just come about recently?
No, I got a great team, and I know Box Lab Promotions work with Bob Santos, and we're all together in a small circle. So I'm glad they picked us up, and we're gonna be fighting more with Box Lab, and I think it's a great opportunity for us because we get to stay busy.
Now, are you willing to put your modeling career on hold for to continue the boxing career, or is that something you're really interested in and pursuing still at the same time?
No, modeling is dope. But I gotta handle my fights first, and whenever I'm not boxing, I'll model.
And what is that schedule like?
It's good. I like modeling. I don't gotta get in there and fight, so I just show up and I look good and do my part in modeling, and it's good. I really like it.
And you guys are runway models, so what is? I'm just curious too. Just I don't know much about it myself, and I think it's honestly it's awesome.
Yeah.
What is working one of those events like? It's your brother mentioned it's kind of an all day thing too. Take us through what it's like to work an actual runway event.
No, it's cool. It's like definitely like the opposite of boxing. It's just a whole different industry that a whole nother eye sees. So it's good. I honestly I get more nervous for modeling than boxing. Like rocking the runway in front of a lot of celebrities and with celebrities. There's a lot of people there that got eyes on you, just like boxing. But we've been modeling for 2 years, and I've been boxing for my whole life. So it's something new.
And do you ever feel like people kind of judge you because you guys are fighters, or is it you guys have been kind of welcomed with open arms in that industry?
No, I think it's great. There's a lot of athletes that model. So yeah. I think we picked it up pretty fast. I think we got the look, and we know how to do it now. Yeah, like I said, we've been modeling for 2 years, so we kind of picked up how to do it.
It's got to be cool too, knowing that if anybody does try to mess with you, you can fight. So
yeah, sure. Yeah.
Now, looking at your record as well too, you do have one blemish early on in your career as well. Take us through that because it looks like you were ahead on that fight. What happened with that one there?
Yeah, no, that was a great fight. I fought another undefeated fighter. Took a chance. I was beating him, and I got caught with a good shot. I got up fine. Ref didn't let me fight. It's all good though. I learned a lot from that fight.
Now, is that something you would ever want to take again? You want to find him down the road as well?
Yeah, for sure. But I know we're both on our separate paths. If that fight ever comes up again, I'll definitely take it. But I'm not gonna chase it. I know I'm a lot ahead now. So if it does pop up my way, we could run it back.
Now, a lot of times too, a lot of fighters, they fight a lot of the same guys in the amateurs early on in the pros. Anybody that you have already crossed paths with in the amateurs and the pros?
Not yet, but I see a lot of guys that are that I have fought in the amateurs that are pro now. We're probably around the same amount of fights, so I mean, it definitely could happen.
Yeah, boxing is a small world, especially when you're in the same weight range for most of your career.
Yeah, in your weight class right now, who do you put like the top 3 guys that you'd say, okay, that's who I got to work towards?
Definitely Inoue. So he got all the belts. So that's really the only guy that's up there beating everybody.
Is he beatable?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you see with the Neri fight, he got caught and he went down. So he definitely got some holes. It's just one of them fights that you got to be on point in, and you got to take advantage of when things happen like that.
Now, just a little south of your weight division there, we have an amazing fight coming up with Bam and El Gallo. What are your thoughts on that fight?
Yeah, I like Bam. He's a good fighter. Yeah, I stay in contact with him. He's a good fighter. I know we train with Mario and they're from San Antonio, so I watch his fights and he's really good. I think Bam should take that.
Yeah, it's going to be a war. I'm definitely looking forward to that too.
Yeah.
Now the other thing too is a lot of fighters when they're coming up when they're young, early on in their pro career, such as yourself, we don't have a lot to look at and go off of. But just the fact that you're a Filipino and Mexican, that says a lot about who you are as a fighter. I think any boxing fan will look at that and be like, okay, this guy can fight. With that being said, your father, I'm assuming, is Mexican, being the Julio Cesar Chavez influence there, and your mom's on the Filipino side. Does boxing come from was she a boxing fan as well too, and does she have any influence on that?
Yeah, well, only my dad. He was a boxing fan, but my grandpa and everybody, they love Pacquiao. So it's good that I got both sides of fighting culture. Like we got the Filipino and Mexican. So
it's a built-in fan base right there. You got to love that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. That's you're gonna have as you go on in your career, there's gonna be crowds that are rock us. Filipino.
Yeah, we're also born in Hawaii too, so we got a big following in Hawaii.
And what is that like? I mentioned that earlier to your brother. That's not a big boxing area. What is the culture of boxing like in Hawaii?
It's small, but it's good. I mean, even everybody scraps down there. I mean, you even got Max Holloway in the UFC. You got a lot of fighters down there. It's a small community, but yeah, they know how to get down.
Do you go back there a lot?
Yeah, we try to go back every once in a while. We got family over there, so it's nice to visit.
Well, definitely, again, appreciate your time too, and your brothers as well too. Any other last comments and throw out, where fans can follow you, find you online, and all of that good stuff there.
Yeah, just on Instagram at Angel Barrientes, and tune in to me and my brother's fight May 31st this Friday. It's gonna be good on DAZN.
Well, appreciate it again. Thank you, and we'll be tuned in. And as soon as you guys win, welcome you back on the show whenever you guys want, for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, have a good night.
You too.
There we go. Fighting twins again, man. That's awesome, man. It really is awesome. And the fact that they model too is really it's unique.
I think that's your favorite part of their story.
It's unique because you don't see a lot of unique stories like that in boxing nowadays. There's a lot of other stories, bad upbringings and fresh out of jail type of stuff, but you don't hear about this. And the fact that these guys are good too, it sets them apart as well too. So I think for anybody tuned in, definitely pay attention to their story, because I think it's going to be a very fun one to watch for sure.
Yeah, for sure. That's going to get picked up as they continue to rise, and it's kind of like both careers probably complement each other. Like they get bigger over here, then they get bigger fights. They get bigger fight. Like it goes. It's going to help each other. I just thought it was really cool. Like the family bond right there is just strong. Like they said. I mean, he said right there, like whatever opportunity comes, and it's not even about him. If he gets it, cool. If the brother gets it, he wants him, like it seemed like there's no competition between them.
Right.
And that just, I think, shows probably how, credit to their dad, right? To be able to instill that in them. And like I said, they're obviously competitive guys, but between them, from our interview right there, it just seemed like there's no competition between them. And they truly just want the best for each other, which, man, you got to applaud that.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's a great, definitely fighting family. They said their sister was a fighter and their younger brother's a fighter too. So it's in their blood. And as you mentioned, the fan bases are crazy, built in right there. Filipino, Mexican. I think the only other crazier fan base is the Puerto Ricans. But you got two of them locked in already, so they're going to have a lot of following as they progress too.
Yeah, for sure. Come on, we've seen kind of the Eastern Europeans at times, Triple G. There's been a few other. They throw a Mexican flag on and say, "Oh, Mexican style," and fans eat that up. When you get these two guys who are legit, hold up, I'm Filipino and Mexican.
It's
fans are gonna love it.
Yeah, make sure again you guys tune in to DAZN on Friday night. That's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be fun to watch all these young guys. And let me pull it back up. I did say I was gonna go through the card, but there's a lot of prospects on here real quick. I'll just kind of run down there. A lot of undefeated guys. Kevin Haler Brown 4-0. Jurgen Hovhannissian 5-0. Hendry Cedeno 12-0. And Travius Ingram 6-0. Angel Lizada 9-0. Zalek Reese 3-0. Chavez Barrientes, Angel Barrientes, Kaipo Gallegos, which all three of them were on here tonight. Aaron Aponte 8-2. I believe Aaron Aponte has actually been on this program before too. And Yan Marcos 10-0. All of these guys are in there against tough fighters as well, tough competition. There's some guys with well over 40 fights, 30 fights on here, so they're not being given pushovers at all. These are all tough fighters that they're in there with, so make sure you guys tune in. Not just the three guests that are on our show tonight, but support the local fighters that are coming up,
even if it is just for those three guests, bro. Those are three young dudes already taking on better fights than some of these top prospects are taking.
Exactly.
So yeah, you gotta support what you want to see, and I think they're all doing what we want to see, staying active, being young, fighting good competition, and glad DAZN's giving them the platform for that.
Yeah, definitely, and it's the entire card is, it's a good card with just prospects. It's not like it's a huge undercard with undercard with a huge name or anything like that. It's dedicated to all prospects on DAZN. So definitely props to DAZN for throwing them out there on this one. I think it's really cool. It's a good platform for that for sure.
Yeah.
And on the eve of what might be we'll see what else we got this year, but I want to say so far this might be the funnest card of the year with the 5 versus 5. Before we get into that, do you want to talk about really quickly Jack Taylor and
Josh Taylor?
Josh Taylor, Jack Catterall. It was definitely mixing up their names, but yeah,
man,
I didn't get to watch it.
It was a good fight. I tuned in. It was a really good fight. I thought maybe Taylor edged it, My scorecards were way off. I think they were like 117, 111. But they gave Catterall the victory. He could have won, like, for sure. Like, I'm not disputing that. But those cards were horrible. Those are really bad cards. And we got to see Bob Arum. What is he, like 90 years old?
Yeah.
Hop in the ring and talk down on the cards and pretty much said, like, hey, I'll never bring another American fighter out here because those cards are so bad. Like Bob still got it in him, man. He's 90 years old, and you can still see the temper rise, and but it was a really good card. It was back and forth. At some points, I thought Taylor was out of it, and Taylor came back. And Catterall closed kind of strong. You should give it a watch.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely have to catch up to that. Been doing a bunch of different projects and whatnot, but I'll throw that one on for sure. Their first fight was fun. It was competitive.
And I think by all accounts, this is a better fight.
Would you say Catterall was the clear-cut winner, even though it sounds close?
I thought Taylor was going to get it.
Interesting.
But I have no problems if he gave it a Catterall. But I think that's by maybe a round or two. 117, 111. It to me takes away from the fight. Eddie Hearn spoke on it, and he even said the cards were too wide, and he is kind of saying, don't worry about the cards. We got the right winner, which is one way of looking at it. But when you read 117, 111, 117, 111, it's like, okay, did Josh Taylor even have a chance?
Yeah.
So I thought those cards threw it off, man. Like, it just looks bad.
No, without a doubt. And on that note, I mean, Josh Taylor is coming off of 2 losses now, and he's not the most active fighter. Since he fought Ramirez in 2021, he's only had 3 other fights. He's been fighting once a year. Literally, if you look at his record, 2020 he fought once, 2021 he fought once, 22 once. 23 once. Hopefully he fights again soon. But what do you think is next for him? There was some chatter.
I don't know, man.
I
do think he's probably on the downside. Obviously, maybe he could. I don't think he's a contender at those weights anymore, or at that weight. And I mean, even if you think if he goes to 147, I don't think he's probably a championship contender anymore. So if he's not, does he continue to fight? I don't know. This fight itself was kind of big because of their bad blood and because it was a rematch. But I wouldn't be surprised if, Josh Taylor maybe he takes a fight in his hometown or something. But I think he's done as, the championship contender.
It's interesting. Well, I mean, hopefully they have a third fight. If this fight if it was better than the first one, at least maybe kind of go out on that shield, I would say, hopefully.
Yeah, and to me that's what would make sense. But they from the Catterall camp, and money talks, but from the Catterall camp, Eddie Hearn kind of seen the priority is to get him a world title shot, right? Because in their eyes, they were robbed of becoming the undisputed champion. Like that's historic, right? That's history if he gets that first decision. And the second decision he gets, but those belts are no longer there. So it's like, yeah, you want it, but there's nothing to show for it, I guess. So yeah. I could see the priority being get him a world title fight. But I think the bigger fight is going to be Josh Taylor, a 3. They mentioned Teofimo. Good fight. But I don't think he beats Teofimo.
Yeah, there's a lot of kinks in Catterall's armor for sure for somebody like Teofimo, who is kind of crafty and would, come up for that.
Yeah, I thought Teofimo's. Let's see, they both beat Josh Taylor, right? I think Teofimo did it much more easily, convincing.
Oh, yeah.
And all that, and I think he'd probably have just an easy. Maybe easier time with Catterall. But you got to feel bad for Catterall because I get that, right? Like man, I was almost undisputed champion. I beat the guy. Look, I really beat him. And what do you have for it? You know,
that is a tough shake, though. I hadn't even thought about that myself. Like, you know, because that was a controversial decision.
Yeah.
I did think he beat Taylor that first time. I will be watching that fight this week to see, you know, what I think about the rematch. But yeah, you know, I do think the third fight needs to happen, but it's a shame because, you know, in that division, those titles are all split apart now. So becoming undisputed there is going to be a tough task.
Well, and that division is like good luck. Like
yeah, sharks.
I mean, Rolly was right there if you wanted to steal a title, but now that you know that got taken from him, like, what are you gonna do? You got Pitbull Cruz, you got Matias, you got, you know, it's just a tough look for anyone hoping to get a title that, you know, oh, I deserved it at this point. Let me go and, like, bro, it's not gonna be that easy.
Yeah, no, not at all. Hopefully, I think he does deserve a world title. I mean, it's not going to get handed to him, of course, but hopefully he does get a world title opportunity again. And I think, you know, depending on who it is, there's a good chance that he can win it. He's proved he's at least at that level. Now, 5 versus 5 this weekend. That's exciting. You know, we got Raymond Ford versus Nick Ball. Hamaz Shiraz versus Austin Williams. Daniel Dubois, Flip Hergovic, Bivol now fighting Mark Zanad, Willie Hutchinson and Craig Richards, and of course the main event. Well, the main event technically is Bivol and Zanad, but you know, for really what it is, I believe so. Because I mean, it's still, and they're still billing it as a very competitive fight. And really, I mean, on paper it is. Mark Zanad is 22-0, 16 knockouts. I don't know much about him. I'm not going to sit here and act like I do, but it's undefeated versus undefeated. And again, for the IBO and WBA light heavyweight championship. So that one could end up being a good firefight. And if Bivol loses, which if you go down the line in boxing history, when stuff like this happens, there's a big super fight on the line, you know, somebody is always there to throw a wrench in the plan. And
for sure. I think Bivol's too boring to or I shouldn't say boring, right? But he's like too technical, too safe to get caught up in any of that. I feel like he shows up and he fights his same fight no matter if it's Canelo there or if it's, you know, if Beterbiev or this guy that we don't know. I feel like he shows up and he fights the same fight, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
I just don't think we're going to get an exciting fight out of it.
We'll see what happens. I'm right there with you because, you know, there's certain guys, you hear that they're fighting, you don't care who they're fighting against. You know it's going to be exciting. And on the flip side, there's certain guys who you hear they're fighting and you just know it's not going to be an exciting fight.
Well,
and Bivol is kind of one of those guys.
Yeah, and it's one of those, you know, certain guys you show up and you don't know if they're going to show up. We were just talking about Teofimo, right? Like Teofimo kind of fights to the level of his opponent. Sometimes he'll look like an all-time great, and sometimes somehow he lost to Kambosos. Like I'm still like, how did he lose to Kambosos? Right? Like, but I mean, that's just fighting to the level of opponent. And I'm just saying, like, Bivol's too good that he doesn't do that.
Yeah, that is true. And he'll hold it together. He knows that fight with Beterbiev is right there for sure.
So like a lot of those guys fight to the level of opponents, and you kind of never know which. Zab comes to mind. Like, Zab's one of the most skilled, talented, but kind of fight to fight. You don't know which Zab you're gonna get. And you know, I just think that was my kind of point on Bivol. I don't meant to be saying like, oh, he's boring, I don't want to watch him. I'm just saying, yo, Bivol, you're getting Bivol.
Right.
No matter who's across the ring from him. But come on, man. The main event of that fight is Big Bang Zhang, Deontay Wilder.
Without a doubt. Yeah, without a doubt. That is the fight that everybody's going to be there to all eyes are going to be on that one right there. I mean, the rest of the other 4 fights are also entertaining and interesting, but really Deontay Wilder, Big Bang, I can't think of another time when 2 heavyweights or any fighter in any division are both coming off of losses, decisive losses, and still can generate this much excitement for a fight. This is the kind of fight that boxing fans salivate over, especially in the heavyweight division.
Oh, heavyweight. They're heavyweight fighters, right? One hit, and whoever lands it, we probably expect them to win. And there's just so much. Like, to me, this fight just has so much. The winner of it, and maybe it's me just being a boxing fan and still holding out hope that I see Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder. But I feel like, all right, Deontay, here's another chance, bro.
Right.
Like, this fight's been messed up so many times over the years. Here's another chance. Deontay, you win, and we could probably set that up. Because now, Deontay's with Eddie Hearn, Joshua's with Hearn. Like, to me, that this is what this is. It's kind of the last chance that this fight could happen. So I'm rooting for Deontay based off that alone.
Oh yeah, I'm rooting for Deontay. That, and he's American, and I'm still having hope that he brings the undisputed championship back to America, where it belongs. Come on, Deontay, do it.
Now that Usyk has it, Deontay could go on a run, and
right,
maybe it's not out of the realm of possibility.
Exactly, and I still think even with Joshua's recent success, his knockout over Ngannou, he looked impressive in that fight. But I still think that's a winnable fight for Deontay. I still think he handled that.
We just talked about guys not showing up all the time, like Tyson Fury, right. Fight, like, I'm pretty sure there's probably 10 guys that could do Ngannou the way that Joshua did him.
Right.
Like, it looked great. It was highlight reel. That's what you want to see from a heavyweight. But I'm not putting Joshua, as now he's the best because he knocked out Francis Ngannou. So, I just want to see Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, man.
Yeah, that's the fight we've all been wanting for some time. And this is it's a tough task though. Big Bang he's got a chin. And he can punch, and
but he could be hit too.
Yeah, and the thing is, we've seen guys with good chins. Deontay Wilder's power is on a different level, and I don't care whose chin it is that he touches. You're either going to go down or you're going to go to sleep. He's knocked down everybody he's ever fought, except for Joseph Parker, right?
Yeah, Joseph Parker, and he all right, man, we'll give you that. You didn't look good, but I think he knows what's riding on this fight. Bean was saying career-ending match. I heard Deontay saying, like, if he loses, retirement is basically it might happen. A high possibility, I think he said. Don't want to quote him, but so he knows the career's on the line, right? Like, this is kind of the last chance, and when you got, you fumbled whatever $50 million bag by showing up and losing to Parker, but here it is again for you. So, I would hope to see Deontay Wilder at his absolute best. And, if he has anything left, I think we're going to see it.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one, man. That's going to be the one that I'm same right here as Combat Sports Media says. I wasn't expecting this now. I wasn't either, if that's what you're talking about. I wasn't expecting Big Bang and Deontay Wilder. It's a winnable fight for both guys, and that's what makes it exciting to me. And in the heavyweight division, nothing is predictable there, especially when you got two guys like this. And, we're looking forward to it. If you were to pick a side, which one are you going for, Ray?
Oh, man, I'm just being a fan, and I'm hoping Deontay wins. Like, does anything tell me that Deontay should win? No. Like, look at his last fight, the way he fought Joseph Parker. He was hurt. Looked like nothing tells from this last fight, nothing tells me that Deontay should win. But, I got to roll Bomb Squad, right? Like, that's just me being a fan. I hope that's what happens. But, Zhang has power. Like, look how Zhang did Joe Joyce. Like, that's one punch knockout power too. So when you get these two guys in the ring, it's gonna be an event, man.
Without a doubt. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to that one. Shiraz. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, and also just this card, right? Even if you're not a fan of every fighter on it or whatever, this whole 5v5, it's one of the more creative promotions I think that we've seen. And I think these cards are getting more and more creative. We see kind of cards, all the fighters aren't on the same promotion. The one that we're gonna see with is it the tank card?
Yeah.
It's just it's new things in boxing, right? And that's what I think we want to see. This 5v5, there's already been talks about they're going to do UK versus US. It just gives us something new, and it kind of makes every fight intriguing.
Exactly, and that's why we need Deontay Wilder to win, so we can have him and Joshua in the UK versus US.
Oh, headline that! Oh man, let's go.
Forget about it. Yeah, that would be great. So if we're to pick a side, so far we're at one. We're both on Matchroom side with this one. Flip Hrgovic and Daniel Dubois. I don't know who. I want to say Hrgovic is gonna probably. I would lean towards him if I were to pick one, which is again on the Matchroom side. What do you think about that one?
Man, I think Dubois looked kind of so good as of late. Maybe his last fight's just sticking out to me. When he fought, was he the one that got Big Baby Miller out of there?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. I think he kind of turned the corner and has been given a good performance. I would go with Dubois. I'm not high on Hrgovic. I know, crazy knockouts and all that, but I just don't think his competition has been up to maybe some of these other guys. So if he goes in and washes him, which possibly could happen, like obviously he's a huge player at the heavyweight.
Yeah, I think he's got enough in his tool belt and his arsenal to pull off the victory over Dubois. We'll see. I think it's gonna be a fun one. But I'm sticking with Hrgovic for that one. So I'm at Matchroom 2. You got one apiece so far. The next one, Shiraz and Austin Williams. I'm not too familiar with Shiraz. Do you have anything that you can say about him?
No, man. Except I remember one of our listeners. What he fought Ammo Williams.
Yeah.
Ammo Williams talked so much trash after and told him, I don't know, completely disrespected him. And so whoever Williams is fighting, I'm gonna go against him. Just off, just out of respect to our
listeners.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he said he said that Ammo uploaded the clip and added gunshot sounds to every time he knocked him down or something.
That ain't right.
I'm gonna have to go Ammo though for sure, which makes it 3 for Matchroom for me. And then the next one, Raymond Ford, Nick Ball. What are your thoughts on this one here?
Man, I'm not too familiar with Ball. I'd have to go with Ford.
Yeah, and same answer, honestly. And that one is also a title fight too, so that one is gonna be fun. That's the only title fight on the 5 versus 5, so that one has some good implications there. And we had some guys early on in the program that are in that division on the come up. So featherweight division is heating up. I mean, it is actually always a pretty solid division there too. You're going to see a lot of good scraps. So this one might be I think this one might be a sleeper fight of the night here. Again, not too familiar with Nick Ball, but those UK guys are tough, and if there's anything that they can do right, it's they make it to that final bell. They know how to survive. They know how to make it through. So that should be a good, fun back and forth fight there.
Yeah, but I really like this idea of 5 versus 5, and I wonder if it's bigger for over there in Europe, because that's their promoters over there. Because I just imagine, man, how, especially as of late or the past years, really, boxing fans have become fans of the promoters, right? You see guys, I only like PBC fighters. I only like top ranked fighters. and they'll argue just off who they're signed to. I would really like for that to happen here, you know, and I hope this 5 versus 5 does pick up. You know, we talked about the UK, US possibility, but you know, even if they did, you know, the promoters over here, I think we would kind of that'd be bigger for us. Matchroom and Queensberry, like I'm sure that's big over there, but to us, like I like the idea and concept of it, but I'm not invested into Queensberry or Matchroom, I guess.
Yeah, same. Excuse me, same. I'm not and you do see that a lot nowadays. You do see fans becoming fans of promoters.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's their argument is, you know, this PBC fighter will do this to that Matchroom fighter. Yeah. And it is weird. It is definitely weird because, you know, every promotional company has a guy that can beat another guy. You know, they have their group of guys. I don't know where the cult-like following comes from for each one of them. You know, who knows, but it's...
But I mean, that'd be, I mean, if you could do a Golden Boy versus PBC or something,
oh yeah,
it'd be the time. Like as a promoter, which I'm sure what these guys are doing, but like as a promoter, like what happens if you go 0-5, bro? Like wow,
man, I know. Which might happen. You know, I'm looking at everything here. You know, there's the last fight there too as well too. I'm just gonna go ahead and say I'm picking Matchroom all the way. I think they're gonna get a clean sweep here.
That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. But like you would have to think that's what he thinks, right? Like they're not putting one of their guys in there to lose to their biggest rival. So I would think, you know, both guys are putting up, you know, their best. And, you know, Deontay looks like he's a hired gun. But now that he has that relationship with Eddie Hearn, like this just tells me, hey, we're closer. We're closer to Joshua.
I know. We're right there. We're right there. Also, again, he was going to be on the program tonight, but he is, you know, he's taking some time off, much deserved. You know, shout out to Jack Kelly, host of the Catch and Counter program, the podcast on Fridays, which you'll see probably this coming Friday. He was victorious in his amateur debut this weekend. He did well, man. He performed great. And, you know, I couldn't be any more proud of him. You know, we're all proud and excited to see what else he has in the future. He did take one loss, though, this last week. You already know what I'm going to say. For the 6th week in a row, the boxing shop killed Catch and Counter again. Sorry, Jack. I had to throw that out there. But, hey, again, man, we're super proud of you. We're excited.
And they're doing too much catching and not enough countering.
Yeah, there you go.
No, but yeah, man, shout out to Jack. You know, we talk this boxing all the time, but you know, Jack's kind of been on the journey where he started training, and then you know to have his debut, and you know even watching it, obviously, I saw it on YouTube after the fact. Like I already know the result, but just watching that, man, like that's our guy right there, and
right.
You know, still kind of like nervous, like, man, what's gonna happen? But yeah, man, Jack did his thing, bro. He was walking that dude into the right hand, like, here, come follow me, pop. Come follow me, pop. They gave him a split decision victory. I thought it was clear. Anyone wants to watch it, man, hit up Felix, hit up the ITR, and you know we'll post that video. But yeah, man, shout out to Jack, did his thing. Congrats, bro.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I'm curious, like, you know, when we interview Jack, it's going to be fun because obviously we have built-in rapport. We know him. We talk to him. But there's definitely some questions I want to ask him, you know, what's going through his head, you know, training and all that. You know, we'll get a nice little in-depth interview with Jack.
Yeah, man, because even after the fight, Jack's kind of feeling himself, right? I saw him go to the crowd, like amp in the crowd. I'm like, oh, slow down, Jack. But yeah, man, it was cool to see.
And Jack, he's super humble too. He's not going to be one that wants to throw it out there and this and that. But you know, I'm glad that he got the fight in there and he got the dub because I could see it coming out a little bit more. So,
and if you don't watch the fight, man, just know he had a big standing 8 count. Man, I thought he almost dropped the guy, right? Like to me, it looked like the guy kind of fell into him and Jack kind of held him up. The ref must have seen something too, must have seen his eyes because it was an immediate standing 8. And then, I mean, with how the cards were, where it was a split decision, that might have won the fight for Jack. So,
Yeah, true. And the amateurs, the shorter rounds and whatnot, and they're quick to jump in with standing 8 counts. If that was a pro fight, Jack, he had him he dazed him right there.
I thought he fell into him, man. I thought he fell in, and but yeah, I think Jack said there were 5 judges, maybe, or something like that, and it was split, but he got the victory. So yeah, congrats again.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Jack, man. Good stuff, and we all are excited. Everybody tune in, all the fans. I'm pretty sure Friday, when you guys do the Catch and Counter show, it's going to be a party. It's going to be a celebration. And so make sure if you guys are listening right now, whether it's live or you guys are catching the replay, make sure you guys tune in Friday as well.
And if it's not, man, we'll give Jack the party he deserves on the boxing shop when he joins us.
Yes, definitely. And I will definitely go out on a limb and say there's not any active fighters that I know of that also host their own podcast too. So make sure you guys tune in Friday, because that's going to be dope. I know there's a few of them out there, pro fighters that are doing it, but nobody like this at Jack's level right now doing both at the same time. So make sure you guys support and make sure you give Jack a follow on social medias. I don't know it off the top of my head, but you can stalk the ITR boxing page and then find them that way for sure. And I think that's about it, man. Again, I think the topic of the night, make sure you tune in Friday on DAZN. You guys should all have the DAZN subscription if you're a boxing fan. Support these guys that are, going to be performing this weekend.
Yeah.
We have
if you're just tuning in, we had 3 young fighters, and they'll be, fighting this Friday. All young prospects. What do we have? 18, 21, and 21. So guys to follow. Right there, Jack. I don't believe he's on BoxRec. I don't know. I know sometimes they have amateur fighters. I don't know who reports that, but it was his debut. There's video proof, and we gotta share that video or that link, Felix.
Yeah, we'll definitely share it. I don't think he's on BoxRec yet because it is amateur. They do have some amateur stuff on there, but we'll follow us on the ITR page on Instagram, and we'll find it. You'll be sharing that link for sure.
Man, I was gonna tell you, and this maybe I guess we could ask Jack. But, Jack's there holding the trophy, taking pictures with his opponent. Yeah, bro, if you just beat me, get out of here with your trophy, man. Don't be taking pictures with me. I gotta see if Jack asked for that picture, or because that guy couldn't have been happy to take a pic, right?
Yeah, I know. And they did win fight of the night. So I can understand the picture, but I'd still be like, bro, I don't go away. Did they both get a trophy, or does Jack get to take?
Well, I saw Jack have 2 trophies. I'm like, yeah, all right, cool. We got fight of the night, and you beat me. Like, I'm not taking a picture with you. But he did, man. He took a picture with Jack. He only had 1 shoe on.
Right.
So that's why that's telling me that guy didn't want to take the picture. So I want to see what Jack says about that, man.
Yeah, without a doubt. I'm sure he'll listen and he'll be answering all these questions on Friday. And one of these, either Friday or back on the shop. He's going to be in the shop for sure, because we're going to have to hound him with some questions. On that note, there may or may not be a show next week. I'm not going to be here. So, hey, maybe Jack will fill in for me, do some double duties. We'll see. But yeah, again,
and you're not going to be here because you're going to be creating more content, man. Like you're not just not going to be here. So he'll have stuff to provide. Summer's getting hot, bro. Like I really think that Tank fight at first, still I'm like, it's Frank Martin. He's going to knock out Frank Martin. But, Tank's kind of moving into that space where it's a Tank fight,
Yeah.
Kind of like Floyd, when Floyd, no matter who Floyd fought, it kind of turns into an event. And I'm kind of getting excited for that Tank fight, and I think I already know the outcome. So,
yeah, I think we're all kind of right there. As we get closer, I'm definitely starting to lean more towards him beating Frank Martin, soundly. I I don't know. I'm still, if I start thinking deep into it, I'm like, no, Frank Martin's not going to go out like that. But man,
but he is.
And then again, we got David Benavidez on that card.
Bro, that's the
Elijah
Rio
card.
Pitbull too, right?
Is it? Oh yes, you're right.
Like to me, that's the.
That's,
I mean, Ryo's my guy, and you know, Pitbull Cruz is man. He's been on terror. So we'll see how it goes, man. Like that. That's a really good card, just name wise. You know, good fights like that one we just mentioned. And even the David Benavidez fight, man, like it gives us something that we haven't seen before. Him against a bigger guy, a big puncher. You know, how does that translate? Does his speed and being able to just walk through guys, is that going to translate at 175? So, yeah, man, hybrid right there. Tank Carter's fire. I'm with you.
And then also, I keep forgetting Tim Tszyu and Virgil Ortiz.
That same card?
Yep, same card, and Andy Ruiz and Gerald Miller as well too.
See, look, man, I'm all confused right here. Ryo versus Pitbull's on the August card.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So yeah. that's the Tim Tszyu Virgil, right?
No, Tim Tszyu and Virgil Ortiz is on. Yeah, I'm sorry, it is on that one, along with the Esau Cruz. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, that August card is fire. No, but Tszyu too, man.
Fire. Yeah,
that August card is fire. But the tank. I still stay what I say, man. I think tank cards are becoming almost events, and just kind of seeing what tank does next. Obviously,
we also have Gary Antoine Russell and Alberto Puello. That one is fire. And then Carlos Adames and Terrell Goucher. So yeah, this one, I mean, the June 8th card is fire still too.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, hybrid. Thanks for that correction, man. I was like, hold on, man. These are all on this.
And he's on that Ryan Garcia tip too.
Yeah.
You know, there's it's easy to confuse because there's a lot of good fights and good cards coming up. And then also my boy Brian Powell Gonzalez is making his pro debut on the Tank Undercard. We're filming. We've already started filming a project together. I don't like to rush projects. There's a chance that we get this video project out before he makes the pro debut. But because I want to make sure we give you the best story and the best content, we'll probably put it out afterwards. So, you know, stay tuned. He's really excited about it, and we're gonna try to put together a really dope episode of the Fight Live. So make sure you tune in. He's making his pro debut on that card. So, you know, shout out to Pal and tune in and support local guys coming up. As you know, that's how we started the show. That's how we'll be finishing the show tonight. On that note, basically.
Well, I have one more question, man.
Yeah.
What is, you know, all this, maybe it's been over talked about, but all this Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, Ryan Paz, when are they, I guess, the consequences, if any? Is anything going to happen or what?
I don't know, honestly.
Because everything, like I hear, and, you know, they said, oh, Ryan's team did the more extensive tests, and that showed like no intent of cheating. I'm like, what is the New York State Athletic Commission saying? I've been wondering this since the beginning. Like, why are they just not saying anything? Like, that's crazy to me.
I don't even know, to be honest. It seems like there was a lot of buzz around it when it first started. We were waiting for May 22nd to get those second results. And it seemed like that date came and went. You know, we found out that Ryan is still positive, but there hasn't been the same buzz around it as it was. I think people are kind of over it at this point, and I don't know if we see that fight get overturned. At this point, just give us the rematch. Right. Give us the rematch at this point, and, you know, we'll see what happens. I don't know what to make of this situation anymore.
Yeah, it's crazy to me. Like, I mean, and even as Devin Haney, bro, like, come on, man, just take your L.
Yeah, seriously. At this point,
like I could see, man, maybe have your lawyers fight that, whatever, back, but like, man, just call for the rematch. Like, take your L, call for the rematch, and let's see. Because
And
I mean,
that's not making it any better either.
yeah, and I mean, nobody's going to be looking at him as an undisputed champion. So I don't know what they're trying to like portray. If Ryan cheated like with the intent of cheating, like that's wrong, man. Everything's wrong, but I'm just not getting that. I would think the commission would come out and say something. So I don't know. I was just wondering if you knew more.
Yeah, I didn't know it. And honestly, I haven't really been looking too much into it. Ryan doesn't strike me as, you know, he's been a fighter from, you know, a child to now. I don't think I think in his heart he doesn't feel like he needs to cheat to beat Devin Haney either.
Yeah.
And I believe him. I think if they have a rematch, you know, whether he tested positive for anything or not, I think the result was going to be the same.
Right. And
like
I said, I don't think he was juicing to beat Devin Haney. So I would like to know maybe, you know, what really happened, but it's just crazy to me. And then another story I think broke today. I don't know if you saw the Mike Tyson on an airplane needed medical attention. Did you see that?
Oh my God, I did not see that. What is that all about?
Yeah, something about he had an ulcer flare up and they had to call a doctor or a nurse. And yeah, as he was landing. So I don't know if I would think that kind of puts his fight in jeopardy. But I don't know.
I'm gonna read about that right now because that is I had no idea, and I hope not because that's that's like one of the biggest fights of the summer right there. I don't care what anybody says.
I mean, it happened. I just don't know what's gonna happen going forward. They said that he's feeling great now. It was just some type of flare up. But I'm like, come on, man. If you're needing medical attention, you're already close to 60 years old. You know, is this fight safe to happen? You know. I think people are questioning that to begin with, but now, you know, we don't know. Bean says he was nauseous. Hopefully, it was just that. It kind of the article I read made it seem, I guess, more urgent. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm reading about it now too. Yeah, it says he was nauseous and dizzy due to an ulcer flare. 30 minutes before landing. It actually doesn't sound too serious, but the fact that that's happening.
And the fact that he's close to 60 years old.
Right.
You got to let him get in there with a
27
knockout artist that's half his age. I don't know.
Oh, man.
But that actually, I was reminded by that because, you know, Ryan Garcia was already saying, hey, if Mike can't fight, I'm down.
Oh, yeah. And see, here's my thing, too, about Ryan. I did say I do feel like he knows that he can beat Devin Haney. And I don't think he feels like he needs to, you know, do anything illegal. But the one thing that I'm like wondering about him now, so we were all praising him. Oh, the guy's a genius. You know, he put off a great game plan, great, you know, mind games and this and that. He's like, you know, I was doing this, you know, we have it all documented. I was going to act like this before the fight, during the fight to, you know, get this. All right. So if it was all an act, you know, why are you still doing it? You know, I see him up to the same behavior. So now I'm like, okay, was it really an act or are you just, you know, off your rockers, bro? Like he's sitting here DMing Clarissa Shields. Let's have a baby. We could create a super athlete. Saying he'll fight David Benavidez. Everything that he's saying, he's not changed. So now I'm back to
but I mean, he's not, I feel like he's toned it down. Like he was saying really crazy stuff.
He was.
He's kind of not. I haven't seen anything on the conspiracy theories. I feel like he's gotten away from that. And to me, it's more just, I don't know, outlandish stuff. Like you said, the baby with Clarissa Shields, you know, David Benavidez. But I mean, would you pick Ryan Garcia over Jake Paul? That's great. I mean, like, bro, that to me, that's so interesting because obviously Ryan's young, talented, skilled, but that's where you come in. There's weight classes, right?
Right.
But
see, that's exactly why Tyson and Paul is interesting to me because you're handicapping Mike enough to make it seem like a fair fight against Jake Paul. And if you did Ryan Garcia and Jake Paul, you're also handicapping Ryan Garcia enough to make it seem like a fair
Right.
fight in the same sense. So
yeah, because Jake Paul's now what, over 200 pounds.
right.
You know, I mean, I'm sure Ryan's probably like 175, 180. I would think I got to take Ryan Garcia, man. But
yeah,
it's crazy that a Mike Tyson, Jake Paul, to me, is just as interesting as a Jake Paul, Ryan Garcia.
I know.
It's crazy, man.
It is wild. Whatever happens that night.
But yeah, he threw his name out there, man. All this stuff happened with Mike Tyson, and Ryan Garcia threw his name out there and said, "Hey, I'm down." So we'll see, man. Hopefully, Mike's all right.
Yeah, fingers crossed, because we want to watch that fight. We're not like Nibs.
Yeah.
Any other last comments you got?
No, man. Summer's heating up, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good summer of boxing for sure. And if you're in the Arizona area, come out next weekend, June 8th, to Celebrity Theater. There's gonna be another good show out in Phoenix, Arizona. Make sure you come out here and support. And also, this coming weekend in Coolidge, Arizona, is an amateur tournament. I'll be out there, which is why I'm not going to be here Monday, but I'll be out there, getting content and grabbing content. Support your local guys, the amateur guys, on their come up. You never know, what kind of pros they're going to turn into. There's a lot of talent out here in Arizona, and it's your first chance to get to see some of them as the amateur days, basically.
Yeah.
But that's it. Another good show. Tune in Friday to the Zone. Support the local guys, the Barrientes brothers and Gallegos. They're all going to be in action this Friday. And again, 5 versus 5. I think it's the start of something fun, truly fun. And I think Eddie Hearn's gonna get a clean sweep over Frank Warren. We'll see what happens.
Cool, man. It'll be cool.
Definitely. Well, until next time, won't be next week for me, but until next time for sure. I'll catch you. Yeah, Adam, I am at least. But hey, we'll see y'all on the next show. Peace out. Let me throw this banner up so we can exit without you guys seeing us kind of jump off camera. Or Ray already dipped. Peace, y'all.